Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Martin.
We're here to you to sip your coffee, which
Right.
I made you so I could lure you in. And we want to talk about the custom user profile add-on for Confluence. Right. And normally, like, this is part of a hackathon, so I try to do everything myself, but this is so complex, kind of, that I needed your help. Thanks so much for joining.
Sure.
Could you just introduce us really quick? This is not going to be a quick video. What is it? What do we do with the user profile plugin before we look at how it works and so on?
Yeah, so the whole idea behind the custom user profile is that you can pull information from different sources and put them into a user profile. Mm-hmm. And then basically you can do different things with the information from the user. So basically we are working together in a company, but I might not even know what you've done all within the last years and your contact information and stuff like that. So we take different sources like an LDAP, for example, Active Directory, and put all the information about you into your user profile. And that helps us just make the information visible to your colleagues and lets them find you as well. Like when you're looking for someone who knows someone who worked with a specific customer, for example, this might be a use case where a custom user profile might help you.
And then passive personalization, when we use the profile information to display certain information about others, news,
right?
And so on.
Specifically within the whole Linchpin social intranet package, the custom user profile is the basis for the whole personalization, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of what I wanted to go for. This is a profile in our demonstration instance at demonstration.linchpinintranet.com. You can log in yourself with T. Schröder. And can you explain real quick what's different between a normal Confluence?
Yeah, right. Within a normal Confluence instance, you have only a specific set of profile fields that your employees can fill in, and that's then the whole information that you can get about your colleagues. And with custom user profile, you can create in the admin area specific fields that you want your colleagues to fill out, and then you can get a lot more information within the system.
So we can do that again. Session was expired. So here's his profile, and as soon as I click edit, I can change information here, put in my phone number, which I didn't do yet, and all the other information. And the drop-down menus, pre-populated fields where I can choose
this field with the expertise, or the department, for example, with the multi-select or the select field, and the branch, for example, as well. These are good examples for what the custom user profile enhances and gives you more than the typical Confluence user profile.
Yeah, normally you only have a dumb
text field, right?
And nothing happens to that later, right? Okay, so I'm just going to save that. I think this profile may look pretty, but we want to look behind that because this is also where the complexity kicks in. Let's go in the administration area and profile. So we have those 4 elements here. Where do we want to start?
Yeah, we can start with the profile editor because it's more the basic part. So you can create profile categories. A profile category might be contact information or the individual information that helps you to bring some kind of structure to your user profiles. Mm-hmm. And then you can create new profile fields within a category. And that might be anything you want to, any information you would like to get from your colleagues. And then you can do things like the personalization about that, or you can searching through this kind of field.
I just wanted to pop up real quick the field types that we have, like select, multi-select, cascade select. Is already something that is pretty complex, right?
That's a more advanced feature. That's right. So it's when you have a advanced selection, you have a long set of fields and many options to choose from, then that might help. We built it for a customer who has like thousands of articles, and these articles are structured in a tree, tree structure. And we wanted to allow them to select the
nodes or
the nodes, right. So that's the reason for the name. It's cascading. You can select a node or a specific article.
Yeah. So either I'm responsible for the whole business unit, or a group of products, or an individual product, or a subpart of the product. Okay. Let's not go too deep into the fields here. We see we can get information from an XML source, which could be SAP as well. Right. We have a interface to SAP through XML, right?
Yeah, you can pull your XML from an SAP system and then put it in there. It might be a different source as well, but SAP is more like the typical case for us.
Yeah, in Germany. And then LDAP is also like Active Directory, works on
or OpenLDAP, for example. Yeah.
Okay, and then selections and so on. Language and countries pre-selected with those languages or countries, and select means that I can put in selection fields, right? Okay, date input is self-explanatory. User select also, I think. So let's go back from here. So field label is a title. Help text, I assume, helps employees to fill out the field? Or?
Right. It's just more a suggestion for the people what they should fill in there.
Yeah. What does profile and vCard mean?
That's the configuration where you can decide whether the field should be shown in the profile, on the profile page, user profile page, and in the vCard as well. So the typical case for the vCard might be that you only present the phone number and email there, for example, so that it stays quite compact.
Let's show a vCard very quick. So as soon as you find someone that, let's go to Microsoft, for example, that you can hover over, it could be a different user, etc. It doesn't do here. Let's find a comment. There must be. Okay, however, this should give me a vCard. Here we have it.
So you can see here that department and branch were added to the, actually in the configuration it says that these two fields should be shown there.
Yeah, okay. And then why would I hide information in both?
Actually, it might be that you have some information you want to have within the conference system. For example, for using it in a specific macro or something like that, where you give a special access to the field information. So you use it like some kind of a database in this case, and you don't want other users to see that.
And there's also a mapping feature somewhere in the custom user profile, right, where I can map content that I have in a field. I remember a use case when the customer had some weird numbers, and they wanted to convert it into real names, like a first and a surname.
Yeah, right. Typically, that comes up when you, for example, you have people in a specific LDAP group or something like that. You don't want to show that in the user profile, but you want to have some information shown in the profile that's based on the group.
Readable information. Okay. What does required mean?
Required means that you ask you force your colleagues to fill out this field. Therefore, we created a profile completion assistant. So whenever you say here that's a required field and you activate the profile completion assistant, then people will be forced to fill it in. It's an overlay that pops up. So whenever you want to do something within the conference, you are actually forced to fill out the field.
I think this is pretty interesting, but let's finish this dialogue and then we can switch back to that one. What does LDAP link mean? Does it not correspond or correspond?
Yeah, right. It's the question whether we should pull this information from an LDAP from your employee directory, or whether people should fill it out on their own by themselves.
A new feature that we've developed is that you can information into LDAP or Active Directory as well, right? Can you explain that? Why is that so sexy and cool?
Yeah, why is it sexy? It's actually not the most standard case, but sometimes companies want to provide their employees with some kind of a self-service. So they want to allow people to change their data on their own, and they want that to be written back to the LDAP, so that this information is actualized in other solutions or tools as well.
Yeah. So my answer on this question would be, when we meet with very big customers, they often don't have a standardized, up-to-date list of all employees with all the information. Like if they have 20,000 employees, they don't have their mobile phone numbers or their private email addresses or their birthdays or whatever. So they only have a standard set that they actually need to pay them a monthly salary and to do their administration stuff. But when it comes to pictures, when it comes to hobbies, when it comes to expertise, when it comes to like recent projects that they've been on, they are like blank. They don't know anything about the employees. And if you can write back stuff, you can use the intranet to give employees the opportunity to provide information. And if you've validated that, or if you don't want to, you don't have to, but you can get it back. And that's something that I think is...
That's why we call it a self-service. The employee can change it on their own, and they don't need the admins to do that. They have the information. Often it's not the actual current information that they have. Like they have a phone number from 3 years back, and they don't get the current phone number from employees.
I wanted to go back here and look at the field that we have.
In this case, you can see the LDAP.
There's an attribute that we, and then it also asks
that you don't write back in this case. So you might change that, and then you have to give us writing
permissions
to write back.
I wanted to activate the required field to show how this works, because I also think this is a pretty powerful but also like kind of dangerous tool. So as soon as you save a field to be required, you get a arrow here. I think you have to do some
please
more
go
magic
in the general settings. And then you
is.
have the profile completion.
Okay, so this has to be activated to work, right? And if I now go back in the main area and my phone number would be missing, which is the case, then I get a layover that asks me to provide a phone number. There is no validation on that here, right?
Currently, there's no real validation, right?
Yeah, so
that was the help box we were talking about earlier.
So I would just type in my phone number, so call me if you're there. Okay, and then I hit save. And then this goes away, and if I go to my profile, we'll see that the corresponding field is now populated with my mobile phone number. And I don't think it is smart to do that for too many fields, but for something like a phone number, that could be really handy to be able, for example, we have this mobile app now where you can pull up every employee, and having this as a kind of phone book is pretty powerful in my opinion.
Right, and we typically suggest our customers to do that, especially for the fields where the personalization is based on later. So if you need specific information like the branch or location and department, and
this
for doing the whole personalization thing, then
this is kind of annoying. Like if I go away, I can say complete later.
Yeah, but it will pop up.
Yeah, it will pop up
again,
like for every page that I load. And the others are also mandatory fields, exactly?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do that. So far, so good for mandatory fields. What is special fields? What does it say?
It's some kind of more like harder configurations. You won't need it in the
Normal
use cases, but you might want to sync profile pictures, for example. You can also import them from LDAP or from an URL, for example, if you have them on a certain server, and then you can do the configuration there, and you can define the maximum profile picture size. Right.
What's the full name thing here?
The thing is that we have this display name within Confluence where it says like Martin Seibert, and we need to know from which fields we take this name on. The display name, right?
Could be a title like PhD or
something like that. Yeah, and we need to know where we get your first name information and last name information from.
Yeah. Okay. So general settings, there's help text that will come when I hit edit my profile, right?
Yeah.
I go here, profile, and then edit. Then there's text.
Yeah,
it would be there.
It would be a text there on the right hand side. Yeah.
Give us all your data, please. Okay, and I can use HTML a little. Let's reload this. No, too much magic for me. It appears somewhere else, obviously.
Oh, it should be there actually.
Down here it is. Yeah. Here we go. And this is also a matter of formatting where we put it. Maybe we want to put it on the top. However, okay. Profile migration. What's that?
This is actually when you start using the add-on, then we suggest you to migrate the profile information from the Confluence fields into the custom user profile fields.
There is some data already in my Confluence, and I want to preserve that and not lose it.
Yeah, right.
Okay. There's no way to get it back, right? Like what I can do is I can download the custom user profile.
Yeah.
I can pull in all the information. I can look whether I need it. But if I dump it, I lose all the data. There is no way to get it back because the normal profile doesn't have this rich information set.
You might pull it out from a backup or something like that.
Okay.
But actually, we migrate it in this direction. If you don't delete the fields, then they might stay there.
Yeah, I could try to write back everything into my LDAP and then pick the profile. Who wants that? Okay, so this is the profile at a custom landing spaces. What does that do?
So sometimes we have cases where customers want different dashboards for different types of employees. And you could say, for example, we have many capabilities for personalization within the Linchpin social intranet package. And you might want to have one dashboard for everybody, but it's still personalized and has specific your language and stuff like that. But there are sometimes cases where people want to have different groups of employees directed to different dashboards.
So that's kind of if one central page with personalization isn't sufficient for me, I can use this one.
Right. So it might be a case where you have like a large company that has specific branches, and each of the branches has some kind of their own corporate identity, for example. That might be reasons why they want to have dashboards for each of the groups. And then you can redirect them to specific space homepages.
I'm just trying out whether I can reproduce that. So is there
you might have to log out actually. We'll see.
Tel Aviv. 2 words. Big A. You really have to make sure that for personalization, there's no corrections. If you get it wrong with the spelling, that's a problem. Let's see. Okay, at least I do get the point. So depending on my profile elements, you'll forward me to a different space instead of it actually worked. So I came to this.
It should work, yeah. And
Yeah, sometimes I'm unsure whether I'm
no demonstration
or,
effect in this case.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna delete that because someone may get angry at me. Okay, there it is. Okay, understood. Custom landing pages, org charts. What does it do? You actually, I pulled you away from the org charts
right.
thing,
I was
right?
working on a different topic, and I was pulled in here. Yeah. And he told me it would take only 15 minutes. But
yeah, you know, all my videos that I do are only 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
So yeah,
and concise.
Yeah, I'm currently actually working on a topic. So we want to build more elaborated org charts within Confluence. And
the switching isn't that easy. Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, actually it's
hierarchies, peach
organizations, which you might know from Sociocracy 3.0.
I don't know how to pronounce
that.
And then what's the third one? Didn't you have a third one?
Matrix.
Okay,
organization.
Matrix.
Yeah, right.
Okay. And you want to visualize that, and we do have Draw.io where you can draw that manually, and this is kind of dynamic.
We want to do that automatically, right? And based on the profile information again.
What we can do right now, this one I can show. Oh, the switching is really kind of. So we can define a superior, and then if we go in the profile, you can see who's the boss of this one.
Yeah, right.
Which is Michael Miller. And in the org chart, you'll see that Michael Miller is his boss, and that Florian Sommerfeld reports to you. And if I go to the profile of Michael Miller, he also has an org chart. And then we see that Petra and Katie also report to Michael. But that's about it, like a little bit about hierarchy, only central to this one person that I'm looking at.
Yeah, right.
That's how far we've gotten here, right?
Right. So that's just a minimal type of thing there. It's more the basic information, like who do you report to and whom reports to you. And yeah, we'll create something bigger and better based on that.
Yeah. So that you have some time and people don't have to watch us for too long. Last element in the administration area: data sources. What's that?
Right. So like we said in the beginning, it's about the whole custom user profile is about user information and working with the user information. And at the data sources panel, you can actually configure the sources. And that might be LDAP, for example, an Active Directory or an open LDAP, or it might be an XML file that you want us to import.
And there's documentation on that, and I also saw Mike helping customers who had trouble filling that out and this right. So you can contact us if you want. For the XML, there's obviously also a couple of things that you can put in here. Is there any
it's just a basic configuration, and then we'll just pull the information like every 24 hours, or you can configure that as well, the interval. And
Confluence does have an LDAP connection already, right? How is that different?
It's basically the Confluence connection is more about the basic user information and that the user is there at all. And in our case, it's more like on pulling all the fields into it, like
I remember
and stuff like
that we also can do resuming, like if we have a very, very big amount of people that we want to pull out, and there are some hiccups or interruptions, and it can resume from where it was, which Confluence can't do. Yeah, that's also something to remember. If you have any questions, contact us, please, as users of this.
We actually have like 2 or 3 more features, like the custom user list and the custom user search, where you can search for people. That's easy way to search for people and for the skills, for example.
Yeah, that's not part of the admin area, so
it's not part of the admin area, right? But it's very important for
experts.
very important for users.
So, okay, we have the custom user search and the customized user list. Let's start with the customized user list. For example, I could say applications, and then, or any other field that is in my profile. Then something that is in there, which could be SAP. I could define that I want to have, where is he? And maybe
that's a displayed user field. So actually you create a list, and that's the information that will be in the list.
Yeah, so I want a phone number and a branch.
Yeah, right.
And insert it, save it, and ta-da, there comes a list, which could be a departmental list, a list of experts like here. It could be any type of dynamic user list that we want to create.
Right, and dynamic is very important in this case, because you might create a conference table as well for this kind of information, but it will not be automized.
Yeah, right? Will not update when someone leaves or someone new comes.
Yeah, right.
Or someone adds a skill that he. Let's just add the other macro, the custom user search. This is actually.
You should configure it at least a bit.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is there more macros, or is it those two?
Yeah, you have the profile macro, the vcard kind of macro, but that's not that interesting actually.
Okay, I could limit that to certain groups.
Right.
So I say only marketing people and then search within the marketing people.
Yeah, right. Then the profile fields to search, as there is nothing in there, the default is all, right?
Yeah. So I could also search for SAP.
Right.
I don't have to search for the name. Displayed profile fields. Okay, that's what is in the list of results, right?
Yeah, right.
And then
you can allow filtering within the list, and so decide on what
branch. And it's interesting. I didn't know that. So,
but you should add them there as well for the displayed profile fields, so that they are in the results list. That makes more sense. And you actually, if you add a pipe, you can create columns.
Where can I do that?
Within the field here. Behind branch, for example, you could create a column break. There, it's the first thing.
Okay.
That's there. You can add it, and then you can drag and drop it actually as well.
Drag and drop it. Oh, like this. Right. Okay. Cool. I'm learning. Okay, and here I can already see how this will look like, but I don't want to. I want to hit save and look on the page. So there should be a search bar.
Right.
There it is. And I'm searching for, I don't know. And then there's a layover. And I see everyone who has profile fields that somehow have Frankfurt. Even if it was Petra Frankfurt, I would find her.
Right. You would
or I would find Michael because he is in Frankfurt, right?
If someone want a specific search for the branch, then you could configure that as well.
And I can still say, give me people from Frankfurt. Yeah. And give me only people who speak SAP or Chinese or whatever.
Yeah, right.
That's pretty cool. And then I can put them on my buddy list.
Right. There's a macro for that as well, actually. So we have one more macro for the buddy list.
So as I pulled out so many time of Paul, we'll make this complete. There's the buddy list. How can I type
favorite?
Favorite. Oh. Other favorite pages? No. User. Maybe user list.
No, that's not. Should be different.
That's something that Confluence offers, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, at least I can show it. Let's pull in the
we can show it in the sidebar.
Yeah. So for the macro name, you'll have to contact us on other ways. So I'll take this Theo Schröder, and I want to show his profile. that would look like this.
Yeah.
But I could also have a customized.
The default configuration is with the information from the vCard.
And this is more condensed.
Like it's the customized condensed version, but you could add profile fields here as well.
Ah, okay. So I want his applications for it. Okay, I have to.
You have to know the name of the field, so it's still a bit of a pain. Right. So that's something we.
So as I don't, I'll take just the normal one, and then I could use this as a dynamic representation for a kind of digital business card of this user.
Right.
And let's show the buddy list here. This is in our case in this. So my context, that's how it's rendered.
Yeah, right.
And we somehow have to find out how the macro is called.
You should search for contacts actually in a macro browser. So
okay.
Maybe we'll find it there.
So do it like a dummy. This contacts. My contacts.
Okay, because there would say of your favorite contacts.
Yeah.
But it's my contacts, right?
Okay. So this could be still limited to groups, which I don't want. I just want to have a list. And I have to choose user groups if we want to see contacts only from a certain group, which I don't.
Work anywhere.
So let's kick out all the rest. Now, let's not do that. Sorry. Let's see. Okay, so this is my contacts here.
Right.
Then there's the experts list that we configured. Then there's the search with the option to filter afterwards. And there's the profile field. So this is what we remember, at least, from this conference. Actually, if you know and you've watched this video, you can probably even do better than we two could. Also from the admin area, it didn't look that difficult, apart from getting the connection between the LDAP and
and that's a part we will help you with as well.
Yeah, okay. So you can contact us if you want to know more. As far as I know, this is the most powerful profile plugin that's available on the marketplace. There's still like others there that seem to have more active installations.
Yeah.
Maybe this video can help change that and educate you a little on why this is powerful. Anything that we want to add? Anything that people do wrong when they do that initially? Pitfalls? That we can...
So actually, you should just contact us whenever you have something that bugs you, because we are working on the add-on all the time, and we have a team.
It's very central to this Linchpin.
Yeah, we have like releases every 6 to 8 weeks, and yeah, you should just let us know if you have any pains, and we'll try to fix them.
Cool. Thanks, Paul, for taking the time.
Thanks a lot.
His hackathon is now over. No org charts, but we have a cool video about profile fields. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, thanks.
Cool.